Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Oh. So, this time, we're going to take a look at Arrgh! Number 4 from 1975. Before we do that, I want to give a little shout out to a couple of other one other YouTube channel here. Easy's Comic Book Collecting. That's the letters EZ. Easy's Comic Book Collecting. Okay, and remind you, my books are available at Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology and Bizarre Brain Comics Presents Heroes. This is my newer one, available on Amazon, or you can just Google them and they'll come up available from various other online booksellers. This has got some humor and some adventure, and this is all more mainstream with some superhero and a little bit of horror stuff and stuff like that. $7.99 each. Okay, now Arrgh. Arrgh number 4. And the main story in this one is Arrgh is written by Jack Younger, with pencils by Jerry Grandinetti and inks by Frank Springer. And Arrgh was a 5-issue humor parody title from Marvel in 74 and 75, which was edited by Roy Thomas and featured the work of various writers and artists. But it mostly featured new horror parody stories backed up by reprint stories from Crazy or other titles from the 50s Atlas books. And you can see here. And this is mostly focused on horror parodies, the horror monsters here. Because here we got the vampire and some kind of swamp monster here, and a mummy here. We got this Frankenstein monster back here, some kind of weird baddie thing, and here's some kind of creepy thing with all kinds of eyes. And this little horror bat brat thing. This Caution Monster Crossing says, "Ha! Got him! No monster can escape the Night Gawker." So in this one, they are doing a parody of the Night Stalker TV series, which was on at the time. And just a few weeks ago, I did an episode of the Night Stalker comic books, of course, based on the TV series, movies and TV series from the 1970s, starring Darren McGavin, and they did a good job with this. And of course, the Night Stalker, the reporter Kolchak, always getting sucked into these stories about supernatural or bizarre, mostly monster things, with had a vampire and some kind of mummy thing and all kinds of other stuff through the course of that show. It was a great show. Still on the reruns. Okay. Take a look. Oh, great cover. Splash page. It's the Night Gawker. And here, see, this is Kolchak down here in the corner, or they call him Kolsak, isn't it? Isn't that what they call him? Yeah. He's walking through. This takes place in Chicago, and You got squeak, squeak, squeak of his shoes as he walks. It says calm and quiet. That's how I like my town. And of course, as we see in the picture, it's anything but. You got the bong, bong, bongs of somebody tossing a bomb. You got people being mugged. You got murders going on, all kinds of robberies all around him, and he's just completely ignoring all that. This is like right out of Will Eisner's Spirit, the pacing here. Squeak, squeak, squeak. You can see his feet, see him. And then you finally get a close-up, and we actually finally get to see him. Coal Shaft. Yeah, that's what they call him here. Coal Shaft. Did a really good version of Darren McGavin here. But is one thing that glaring difference in here, at least to a Night Stalker fan like me, is that here he's wearing this ugly brown suit when he was known for wearing that in the show movies always wore the same outfit. That powder blue linen suit on the show. Always. And here, talking about himself, he slips in. He goes into work in the office because he's a reporter for the wire service. Getting harassed by his boss, so much so, wham, hitting him over the head with the typewriter. Gets a call, something's going on, says nah. So he goes to go check it out, and it's murder scene, and woman's she's got puncture holes in her neck, strained of blood. This is only and this is only like the dozenth in the last few days murder like this. Then old lady comes running and screaming, and there's the vampire chasing her, and he's obviously a vampire. It's the vampire, and the cops start blowing him away. Of course, the old lady's in the way, and she gets blown away. No effect on the vampire, and he's taking pictures. Click, 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 click. That's right. That is right. A scene right from the original Night Stalker movie, except for the blowing away the old lady. He's getting pictures, and here it goes. And again, that cool Will Eisner type pacing. He's looking through the viewfinder of his camera, says, "Stand back, don't panic. Let Fang Face come closer and closer and closer," and he gets closer, and then it's too late. And he whips out a stake and stakes him through the heart right there. Wham! Got him. Of course, the cops are not happy and says, "Don't say a word about this. I got pictures to prove it." They smash his camera. That's always happening to him. Then he gets a call. Here's about a werewolf attack at a theater, and what the heck? So he goes there. And yep, sure enough, on top of the theater is a werewolf, right? And got the lady dragging behind, got her by the hair, and he's throwing stuff down at the cops and stuff, and they're blasting away at him to no effect, and they're getting all kinds of innocent bystanders. Well, Kolchak happens to always carry around a silver bullet, but the cop says, "And you're going to have to take the shot, because I can't do it." I don't know why, but anyway, takes the police gun, and he's nervous. The sweat beads just pouring off him, and then he goes up, aims carefully, and blam! Takes that one shot. There's the werewolf, falls down, and then promptly turns back into a human being. And they're saying, "Get out of here, Kolchak, or I'll throw you in jail for killing a guy." Then he goes back to his office. He says, "I don't know. This isn't working out right. I can never get any stories. I'll just go home." And then you see his boss, as he turns his back on his boss, and his boss turns out he's a vampire. He's sneaking up on Kolchak, and he stumbles and falls out the window. And then we see as Kolchak goes down the stairs and sees his boss has fallen out the window and impaled himself in the trash on a piece of wood, and says, "It's all been a waste of time, an utter waste of time." Oh, that's funny. Now here we go back. As a little parody of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I won't get into that. I'll just show a little bit of it. But this is from the actually from the 50s, because this was drawn by, even though there are no credits, fortunately the artist did sign it, and it was as Joe Maneely, and that's how we know it's from the 50s, because Joe Maneely worked at Atlas in the 50s, and he died in I think it was 57, 58, something like that, in a subway accident. And so this is from the 50s, and then another shorter little story that doesn't really make much sense. I'm about a headless guy, gangsters and stuff. And it's only a 3-pager also. But this is I loved these books. Arrgh, and when they did Spoof and Crazy, I loved those books. And of course, this is one of my favorites because it's got the Night Stalker. Oh, it's a lot of fun to read and to look at, and it's so very nostalgic for no other reason than just because of the Night Stalker parody. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Well, that's what I got for you this time. Just a lot of some fun nostalgic reading with Arrgh number 4. So please like, share, and subscribe. And do leave a comment down below. Tell me if you read any of these, let me know what you think. Have you watched any of the Night Stalker shows? And like this parody? Anything like that? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics, come on, focus. Comics are art.